Assalamualaikum. Hi everyone. So today, welcome to our class for a soft skill class of becoming a super change agent. So as you guys know, this is like a motivational so-called workshop or training. So my name is Zulhelmi bin Badru Zaman. So for this one, we just actually talk about this motivational and also personal development when it comes to interpersonal and then communication and whatnot to become to prepare ourselves, become a better how to say a high performance person or employees in our organization. Okay, so the strategy of changing people behavior and shifting minds. So this is the purpose of our class today. As Mahatma Gandhi say, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. Okay, so the workshop objective at the end of the session, we should be able to overcome personal barriers when it comes to become a change agent in the process of change. I believe I will also give you guys the handout, so you guys also can actually look through the handout that I've given to you guys and create shared sense of agency, generate momentum to initiate change, apply the change process to your organization or business, be inspired and take leadership initiative to make a difference. All right. So the benefit of attending the class, our class for today, is to instill a profound sense of change, readiness, and alertness within your organization. Instill a profound sense of ownership and initiative in individual as a personal well-being, and then instill a personal realization and individual want to modify behavior from within, instill a sense to act and not react the environment and situation. Okay, so our program outline for today, we have around 6 modules altogether. From the introduction, we'll talk about the challenges in order for us to take a big leap in to change and become a better person, or maybe become a better employees. All right, and then third is ideal working environment. We talk about it, and then we have a bit of activities, videos on from two movies in order for us to take the what we call that the lesson that we can actually learn from that. And then at the end in module 6, we just do the summary and reflection. Okay, so moving forward, starting with the class. I hope you guys ready. You guys ready, right? So
Yeah,
first of all, then we will see personal challenges inventory. What are the 3 top challenges for us in order for us to change, to make that change happen? And then at the handout that given to you guys, you guys can just list down 3 top challenges to help you change. All right. For example, I also have my handout here. All right. Um, I put here attitude and mindset, time management and knowledge. Okay, and then the objective and also the outcome. What we wanted to see, what are the objective and also the outcome that you want to achieve at the end of the session as a result of challenges you have above. All right. Okay, so next, why change? Okay, because at the end of the day, we keep talking about changes and then change. I mean, why is that so important? So if there is a need, if you have the magic wand, what you wanted to change, what are the change that you wanted to do when it comes to maybe at your individual levels, maybe organizational levels, national, or maybe or even global. Okay, so our focus is to create a shared sense of agency on individual needs to change and how to propel the change for our organization benefit. So for our class today, the focus is not only for our individual levels, but also to the organization. We as an employees or workers, or even maybe a business owner, how can we actually make a change to become a super change agent in our organization to contribute and also to lift up our company even better in a lot of ways, not only the revenues, as well as the system technologies and whatnot, right? Okay, so forces of change, there are four force of change. Okay, in bahasa we say ada 4 faktor dalam perubahan, which is yang pertama, number 1 is political, number 2 is economic, number 3 is social cultural, and also as well as the technology. Okay, there's a notes over there. I mean, similar as in your handout, you can also look through. All right. So we wanted to talk about the ideal working environment. Okay. So what was the ideal working environment in our organization or our workplace or maybe in our office today? Okay. So this is kind of like a subjective. There will be a short game here, but then we're not going to do that today since this is an online class. Usually we'll just do it in the face-to-face classes lah, whereby there will be like a picture card that you guys can actually choose, and then there will be 5 cards, and then you can just take one of it, and then you can explain, and then and choose, and then discuss the vision of that. Okay. So we go next. Reticular activation system. Okay. The reticular activation system make the difference in the environment. So what is that? So do you know your internal radar? When something becomes a part of your life, you notice it's everywhere. A new handphone, a new car, a new baby, etc. Your radar will start to see it's everywhere. So when we think about change, is it like an unconscious system that is inbuilt in us? It is your choice to control your focus, whether positive or negative. All right. So next, okay. So I believe everyone saw this before, the iceberg perception. Whatever that we see from any perspective, let's say for example, take a look at, for example, one person. We just look at the end result or maybe the outer layer, the things that we obviously can see, but then we didn't know the story behind it. So if you can take a look at the iceberg diagram here, you see the conscious level and then the pre-conscious level as well as the unconscious level down there. So basically, when it comes to the iceberg theory, the pre-conscious and unconscious level is the what we call that the biggest reason that makes why or the output of the conscious level, right? Okay. So next, okay, so 8 human development drivers. So in the emotional drive, we have 8 emotional drive for a person, which is number 1 is love and belonging, number 2 security and control, number 3 diversity and change, significance and recognition, achievement, excellence, growth and challenge, as well as the contribution and responsibility. So this is the emotional drive that makes people that also drive people for change, right? So it's all 8 altogether. You might want to actually identify what are your top 3 emotional drivers for you to move from one thing to another. Let's say, for example, now we are actually continuing our studies in UPM, right? So what are the top 3 emotional drivers that makes you continue your study even though you have to do it like a part-time and then still working at the same time? This is not easy, but why you choose to do it? All right, so this time you can complete in your handouts that have been given. All right. So, are you the same person when you are at work, at home, or maybe in this class today? So, why? If it's different, right? Or if it's similar, then also why? Okay. All right. So next, what causes us to resist change? Okay. In bahasa we say banyak orang kita resist changes. Ada 4 why we resist change. You are actually get the similar handout as given there, but then at the slide there I didn't actually put why and what was the reason. Fear of few things. Just a moment, let me take a look at that. Okay, so 4 type of fear of failure, number 1. Number 2, fear of punishment. People thinking my boss will not like it. Okay, or number 3, fear of ridicule. Okay, high need of recognition. Okay, and when kita nak buat sesuatu tu, kita duk fikir apa orang akan cakap. Okay, so people will maybe laugh at me. People will, drag me down or something just because I did this and do this. I cannot wear this kind of attire. Nanti orang gelak. Okay, that is fear of ridicule. And then fear of unknown. You tak tahu apa yang you takut. Okay, I'm not comfortable with this approach. But that's for example lah. You didn't know what, you tak tahu pun apa yang you takut tu. Macam tu. Alright, so this is 4 type of fears. And then security and fear tolerance. There's a few about fears and risk and also fulfillment. You guys can actually read through. And then next we talk about the emotional trigger. So in our everyday life, what can really trigger us and then it can be positive and it also can be negative. But then for us individually, what really triggers us when it comes to emotional, right? Okay, so you also can read through this one. Okay, we have like pyramid of commitment. There are 3 levels when it comes to pyramid of commitment. There's a lot of pyramid thingy nowadays when we actually, using a lot of theories. But then for this pyramid of commitment, there are 3 levels. Down there, we learn. And then second level, we inspire people. Until third, we are fulfilled. So first, we are actually gathering our skills, and then it's around 14 to 20% based on the research. And then from the skills that we have, it actually build our attitude. From the attitude that we are actually practicing, we are in a way we inspire people, and then end up we also contribute back to us in order for us to achieve the self-actualization. That was the top of the pyramid. Okay, so next we have attitude. So this is talking about the attitude things, and then change of the activities. So this is the activity usually. Change is a process. It can be happen in many forms. Okay, so regardless of habits, observable behavior, implication. Okay, and then so now we go to the next session, which is the session of we saw the videos. There are 2 movies. Number one is Monkey King. This movie is actually story by Arthur Kamazi. He's the speaker, and then his story about this monkeys, 5 monkeys that have a different attitude and behavior, and then the characteristic is actually being given there in a slide and as in your module. So you can take a look at that, and then from this, what was the lesson that we can actually learn? Okay. All right. So how can you relate in the trials of type of the monkey just now? So which monkeys are you? Let's say, for example, are you the type of banana tree environment, or maybe the speed diamond, or the swarm, or the mirror of significance? All right. So there are 4 types. They call it like a trials. The characteristic of the monkeys. So there are like a banana. For example, we take one, the banana tree environment. This monkey is fear of change, complacency, current routine. So they memang like in comfort zone, don't want to change and all that. So it resists to change. So like a speed diamond, so which one? A small or maybe a mirror of significant. Okay. So what do you need to change? Okay, after you identify about yourself, and then what do you need to change if you wanted to change from the banana monkey to go to the swarm or what? All right, that is just for example. So next we talk about Who Moved My Cheese. Have you guys wrote this? Anyone read this book before? Who Moved My Cheese? Okay,
No.
if you go to YouTube, there's a lot of videos about this. This is a very interesting book. I would highly recommend this one. I love this book. And then if you don't really like to read the book, maybe you can also go to the video. You can just YouTube Who Moved My Cheese. This is a very good short movies. This is from Spencer Johnson. And then there are similar like Monkey just now. There are 4 characters to the this rat. They call it Sniff, Scurry, Ham, and Haw. So these 4 different mice, right? They have a different type of characteristic. They're also resist to change. Some of act fast. Some are like Haw, able to change, adaptable, and then a Sniff is actually someone who is alert. Okay, so when you look through, or maybe you read the book, or maybe later on when you watch the short films or movie about this Who Moved My Cheese in YouTube, there's a lesson that you can actually learn. So the maze that we're actually talking in the movie is actually made for the environment, or maybe the organization that we are working in, or maybe the community that we live in, or maybe in the relationship. So that was the maze. Okay, so the cheese is actually referred to whether our personal self, maybe the control, the love that we are craving, and then the security that we need in our life. All right, or maybe when we are as an employee or workers, it's actually referred to the work achievement. When we are actually as an employee, when we actually strive on something, we need the recognition, or maybe award, or any achievement or something, right? So in our class today, since we are focusing more towards corporate or maybe working environment. So the mains here refer to the companies, okay? But you can also refer to your life and maybe your family. It depends. Okay, why change effort fail? So this is based on the John Spencer research. They were saying that 50% of employees say that they don't understand why their organization is changing, and the 68% of employees do not believe that they will need to do anything different in regards to change. 72% of employees believe the change will make things worse for the company, and 88% of the employees think that the change will make things worse for themselves if they were to actually follow the changes that made by their organization. This is the thinking based on the research done by John Spencer. Spencer Johnson just now. Okay, this is the phase of change. You know, every time when someone or people go through the change curve, right, there will be like a different zone. You know, the state of denial, they bring anger, and then they feel depressed and they push to do the changes. And then after some stage of bargaining, I mean, maybe their boss is actually explaining things why they have to change, the reason we do this and that, until they accept that, then only the change manage to happen. Okay, so this is the what you call that, the lesson that we can actually learn or maybe adapt from this movie or maybe this book. Change always happen. We have to anticipate change, monitor change, we have to adapt the change quickly, we have to change, and then enjoy. We have to learn how to enjoy change. Okay, be ready to change quickly and enjoy it again. All right. So the summary, the best change effort must come from within. Apa sekalipun perubahan tu kena datang daripada dalam diri kita. That's the best change yang boleh berlaku dalam diri kita. Okay, because if it's from the external punya force into ourselves, then the percentage of that change will happen is slightly lower compared to things that happening from the internal force. Okay, individual change within the areas. Okay, there's several areas there, and then external, and then question, how do we deal in order to make the new change? Are you prepared to change? Okay, so I'd like you guys to actually fill out the reflection for today's class. I think that's all. List at least item that you have learned from this workshop, and later on maybe you can also help me to fill out the evaluation form from the Google link that I already provided to you guys via our WhatsApp group. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you so much. Is there any question from you guys? No? So I guess that's it for today. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm sorry. Deva, you have a question, right?
No, I don't have.
No, all right. Thank you so much, Deva. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.